Hello, hello, hello. What's up, everybody?
Hey,
What's up, Jabari?
not too much, man. How's it going?
It's going good. We've waited a long time. But semifinals are upon us, folks. Esjb versus FreakinAndy coming up best of 7 here. Gonna get the maps up here for you guys to take a look at. Maps and civs, and I am excited to say we have a best of 7 on our hands tonight. It's going to be a lot of fun here.
Yep, and all of our favorite maps are here. We got Banana, Arena, Black Forest. No Jungle Nomad, but you can't have everything.
Indeed, indeed. Sorry about the overview here, guys. I'm having a slight issue with one of the maps
Oh boy, I should have gotten you
disappearing,
versions
but
with I
it's
should have gotten
okay.
you
We'll
versions with
fix this.
transparency.
Yeah, we haven't had that issue until we have to fit them all on the screen, so we'll just make it a little awkward. It's okay. Maps on the screen here. Home maps for FreakinAndy, Arena, Banana, Black Jungle. We'll have ESJB with Banana Grounds, Benbara, and Monkey Lanes. Civ draft, guys, a little bit bigger. Obviously, best of 7. So, FreakinAndy will have Lithuanians, Mongols, Bohemians, Ethiopians, Poles, Britons, Spanish, and Mayans. Then we'll have ESJB with Franks, Vikings, Celts, Japanese, Malians, Teutons, Turks, and Bulgarians. So, a lot of civs, guys. A lot of favorites. Go ahead, Jabari.
Oh, I was gonna say, it looks like Andy has kind of swept all the top archer civs, and ESJB seems to have a pretty strong focus on infantry civs here. So, just looking at the broad civ matchup, Andy kind of has a lot of natural counters here, and I'm sure there will be at least one or two games where he's playing a strong archer civ into infantry.
Yeah, it's going to be interesting. We'll have to see how this one works out, guys. We're going to load into the game here in just a second, but let's see all the hypes and bananos in chat, guys. Semifinal number 1 here, best of 7.
Yep,
It's
and we
going
also
to be
money
what?
now. We are in the money now. Fourth and third place in this tournament get 1,000 Banano, which is like $15, and the winner of this will be playing for almost $200 USD worth of Banano.
Indeed, indeed. Game number 1 is upon us, guys, and we will have our green player ESJB has also his in-yard workers name at the bottom. We've switched it to make for a little bit more of a clarity, but nonetheless, going to be Vikings here for ESJB, and FreakinAndy will have Britons. So good matchup we have for game 1 here.
You say good matchup. I feel like this is a dominating matchup favoring Britons, especially with the removal of Thumb Ring from the Vikings. Britons have strictly superior archers. Both civs are kind of incentivized to go for archers. I mean, the Vikings have, I guess, a better mid-game economy, but Britons get better archers faster with both the range bonus and the sheep. The extra range on the archers is just insane in archer versus archer fights. ESJB has an uphill battle here for sure.
Yeah, I don't know. I still think that Vikings are a really good civ, and honestly, anymore, I feel like Britons are just very weak when it comes to late game with their siege ram available for the other civ. Obviously, it takes time to get there, but at this level, you never know. Could be over in 6 minutes. Could be a 2-hour game. We have
Yeah.
ESJB's Monkey very forward, playing aggressively here, and he may be coming for the lane here. He has taken the sheep and indeed will attack the boar. FreakinAndy's Monkey is here as well. We'll see if this can be thwarted here.
Lucky for Andy that the monkey was in position to intercept, as they're doing the dance here. Um, Yep, it loses aggro, and ESJB is out of monkey. Oh boy. 1 for 0, not even an HP off FreakinAndy there.
Yes, indeed. A bit of a rough go there, but I respect the attempt. He also has a sheep that he has taken. I don't know where he's going with this, but He may escape with at least the 100 food there, potentially.
Not a total loss, but the monkey, I think it's much more valuable than a normal scout. And yeah, I mean, I think at the pro level, losing your scout this early is considered worse than losing a view like Vil. That's a pretty tremendous setback.
Yeah, it's definitely not pretty. He has yet to find 2 of his own sheep at home. Actually 4, because he went forward so early as well. So this is going to be very, very rough. Let's shift over to his point of view. Oh, and he didn't even find his other board. Doesn't look like... Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, it's definitely worth noting that FreakinAndy is a heavy favorite, maybe like 400 elo or so. So Esjb clearly taking a calculated risk there at the start. He figures he needs to do some risky things with high payoffs to be competitive. He went for it. He missed it. At the end of it, he's probably not that disappointed. I mean, it was a calculated risk. He can't be too surprised that it went down that way.
Yeah, and whenever you're at a disadvantage of elo, trying to be more aggressive in some ways can be very helpful. We'll just have to wait and see how this one works out. Obviously, so far, it doesn't look too hot. It looks like FreakinAndy will probably steal 2 sheep now. There still is the one that he took, Esjb took, but obviously not ideal. And he will, in fact, find those and send them home here.
Yep, and that's Britain's as well, so the stolen sheep are extra juicy.
Yeah, that's absolutely going to be a nice thing. He is going to get lucky here, Esjb, and see the boar now. He realizes it looks like he has. We'll bring the food in. So, all in all, he's only going to be missing out on about 1 sheep, and he has shifted on to hunt, so he's not going to be too awful far behind here. We will, however, see Feudal Age and a barracks coming up. Walls already going up. Very nice cliff over here for FreakinAndy to use to help him wall up as well.
Yeah, and this is just going to be brutal. Esjb's so far behind. He'll be behind in the range units from the start. Maybe he almost needs to open skirm or something. Building the barracks this early signals he wants to go men-at-arms. But when your opponent is up so far before you and inclined to go archers, men-at-arms feels terrible.
Yes, indeed. And we're going to see this Vil get away with 1 HP, actually. Kind of surprised there. Loom just now came in, so very lucky that Esjb was able to get that one back in time.
Yep, as Esjb does make the click. A minute 20 difference. A full 3 villagers. It's going to be a hard feudal age for Esjb.
Indeed, and it's not as if he's been walling up too much behind this. He has a few like starting areas for walls, but that's really about it. And behind this will be a stable, actually. So even a surprise going to be coming in with the openness of his base.
Yeah, Britain stable. Certainly unexpected. He's kind of giving Esjb a little bit of an opening here. I guess I don't know the meta at this level, but I figured if he went straight archers, it would have just been a dominating feudal age. I don't know what Vikings do to an opponent who's up that much faster going archers, but FreakinAndy's the pro here, and he's doing a 19 pop Britain scouts. Maybe the extra sheep make the difference or something. I don't know.
I think the sheep were back too late, to be honest. But it still is an insanely good time. The monkey is probably going to loop back around for this village. It's very low on HP. But he has also killed a house. Going quite well for itself. There's first scout on its way over. And we actually had 1 militia created here. And then he shifted into this archery range. Didn't go for the man-at-arms like we thought he might.
Yeah, both players, maybe they're mind gaming it, maybe they're just changing their plans on the fly, but this ain't how it goes for me when I do Britons versus Vikings. As the first scout shows itself, Esjb can't possibly miss this. He knows what's coming.
Yeah, and at the same time, this monkey is going to come, and it will finish the job on this weak Vil here. So villager count may be very close here, but it's been very tough thus far to have this position for Esjb. We'll see what he can do with it here as the scout numbers begin to grow. It looks like he has 4 of them on the field, and he still has his monkey alive.
Yeah, I mean, Esjb, though, arguably with the better eco, having Wheelbarrow, FreakinAndy not playing to his Civ bonuses here. I mean, if the Viking player gets to better archer numbers early, yeah, everything that I was saying about the Civ matchup is kind of out the window.
Yeah, it's a really strange thing for FreakinAndy to do this, but maybe he figures, why not? Have some fun with it, had a lot of food, went up early. Scouts are a surprise, not something that you see from Britons all that often. There's a hole in the wood line here now. The hole in between this house and the gold is all these scouts could run through, and as I said, there comes the house. Behind this, though, FreakinAndy is going to be very secure at home. He's got a ton of farm numbers, 13 farms down, and he's been comfortably working without much of an issue here.
I mean, he has more idle time by quite a bit. That one Vil kill's basically neutralized. He was also like housed for 1 second there. Esjb, I think he's holding quite strong here. He's a wheelbarrow ahead. He's up, it's going to be 5, 6 archers to none. I guess I'm just completely discounting the military value of these scouts and thinking that he who has the most archers will probably take the better fights. Maybe FreakinAndy disagrees, but I don't know what FreakinAndy will do when these archers arrive at his base, man.
Yeah, I mean, they are headed forward here a little bit. I guess they're still sitting here at the base, so they're not exactly headed in the right direction right now. There's a weak Vil here. He's going to swoop in, take some more HP. The berries are finished, though, and that was the one area that FreakinAndy has been able to pressure, and that will no longer be of a concern as the archers go forward with 1 spear even.
I like it, man. The spear is enough to basically disincentivize anything less than like 6 or 7 scouts from taking that. As FreakinAndy just micros these so meticulously. I don't even know if he's taken a single poke from a spear the whole time these scouts have been running around.
Yeah, they are going to have foraging here in a second, so that's going to be quite helpful. And we'll see what these archers can do as a counterattack. This weak Vil here was never taken off the farms, and it does go down. So these scouts rewarded with another Vil kill here. And there are more here. Spears around, but not doing the greatest of job keeping these alive. Archers are going to hit the wood line here in a second, though. Oh my, there's even more scouts. 2 more coming. Will be 7 scouts in the field. But the wood line could be surprised. We'll see what FreakinAndy has as far as reaction time is concerned, and he'll react right away.
Yep, I mean, at least there's some counter damage here. Thanks to the Viking free wheelbarrow, Esjb is... Oh, you know what? He's actually almost completely evening out the KD. That was absolutely tremendous damage there on the wood line, as he nearly equalizes... completely equalizes 6-6 KD, man.
Yeah.
Esjb has a 6 villager lead. Is my math wrong here? So he's even in the KD, 1 Vil worth of idle time, wheelbarrow. I'm not seeing how it's possible for him to be up 6.5 Vils here.
Well, wheelbarrow's instant for Vikings, not for Britons. So there's a lot of time in that upgrade that FreakinAndy brought in, and then he just killed all these Vils. So he hasn't really had much idle time. It's just the simple fact that wheelbarrow had to be researched rather than instantly given. And oh, this is really bad though. Archers going down here for free.
Yeah, I mean, they've done their damage. It's a shame to see him go. FreakinAndy takes a few spear hits on the scouts while he's microing.
Yeah,
and Esjb, man, I think he's kind of won the feudal age a bit. Oh, he's a little bit later up. It's a tight game.
Yeah, he's got a Vil about to finish. He'll be up about 2 minutes slower. Or 40 seconds. I cannot count, guys, so it's okay. And the problem now, though, is we're going to have double archery range for Britons. And here's we're going to double down on the mining camp. So this may be a very, very heavy 1 TC play here, potentially, with our Briton player.
You know, it's Britain's and he hasn't sold any stone. It's so easy to slam those additional TCs, even if he's not planning to produce out of them constantly.
That's true.
As, yeah, FreakinAndy now has those archers queued 2 across. FreakinAndy is just going to have a vastly superior army in the Castle Age. Oof.
And this did get in here, doing quite a bit of damage. You're going to force an answer here as well as Motherville goes down. 4 skirms here that have fletching and up against archers, obviously. Not going to be that great. Padded archer armor is in for Esjb, will be in here just a second. But then we'll have crossbow and bot canero coming across the map here as we see 5 vills headed forward.
That's a few more than I would expect for a siege workshop. I don't know what he could possibly need so many vills for.
Towers. It's my answer.
Castle Age towers.
Why else send 5 vills? I don't know. Maybe he's thinking about trying to get these wood lines out of the way here and make it less easy for him to collect wood. It would be ideal here.
Yep, as Esjb techs into crossbow, this is the part of the game where it feels bad to be Vikings. I mean, he is up wheelbarrow, but as the level gets higher, man, being able to outrange the enemy by 1 in a crossbow mirror is just so dominating. But this is, I mean, Esjb knew it would come to this from the start. As he goes for his own siege workshop, definitely pretty essential, I'd say.
Yeah, definitely. And the crossbow numbers are still close, but like you said, going to be able to outrange here is going to be somewhat of a good thing. Biggest deal, I think, is going to be that siege workshop forced defensively here. A lot of the res here that is being taken has been forward res for Esjb, which makes that all the more difficult for him to continue to take. And if we put even a crossbow or 2 on each wood line, could disrupt the production here even more than it already has.
Yeah, I mean, the KD is actually just insane. Esjb somehow, though, keeping it pretty close in population, with a Vill lead in addition to Wheelbarrow. And he's taking a kind of bad trade here. I feel like this... I don't know, man. This is so tough to call, man.
It is indeed. It's very difficult. Obviously, ballistics is in here for Esjb now as well. I just landed a shot though. FreakinAndy doing some sick ground attacks. Mangonel is out though, so the Mango will trade off better here actually. And this will actually force this attack back, I think, for a minute.
Yeah, Esjb kind of stabilizing here momentarily. The 1 for O Mango trade is huge. Esjb was dancing under the fire of that Mango for so long. Excellently done as well.
Yeah, it's very close here. Esjb has the lead. His economy is being stretched thinner and thinner, I feel, but I think it's just he's done a good job of production here. He's getting more production buildings down. It will be 3 ranges. Defender's advantage, obviously. And Knights being added in here feels very, very strange for FreakinAndy. I think it's not a bad move, but he has no upgrades except for forging on them now. I would have rather seen upgrades, especially ballistics here, but...
Yep, I mean, if you already have the stable, adding a few knights just makes sense. It really is the most powerful unit. It's got good bang for its buck, even without upgrades. But they are just kind of getting tossed into the meat grinder here. I don't know if these knights have output any damage whatsoever onto units.
I mean, they've definitely been a good job of letting him pick off some of these crossbows, but now we have the issue that it's ballistics versus no ballistics here, and it's Viking economy. Oh, that is a good shot, though.
And the second TC is up for Andy. So Esjb is up wheelbarrow, but he's going to fall behind in Vills pretty promptly.
Town center number 2 coming up for him on the stone.
Good, but it's still going to be 2 to 3.
Yeah, this is true. Yeah, handcard is a nice upgrade, but it's not going to outproduce 3 TCs, obviously. And behind this again, FreakinAndy under no stress here, just comfortably taking everything he wants to. And it's just ranges producing forward here. The Knights are going to try to loop around here. This could be a big spot as mangonels continue to get really good exchanges here.
Yeah, these Knights are going to idle so much and kill a bit. I mean, this is really what they're for. Running up the gut into crossbow fire is not their best usage, but spreading out across the base, getting Vil kills, denying buildings, denying res, distracting the army. These Knights are doing their thing now.
Yeah, and all of a sudden the villager lead is up to 11 or 10 now for Andy here, as he's trying to drop another siege workshop on the side here, and that's just not going to fly. The crossbows are there. Mangonels trade 1 for 1. Esjb though is a pretty solid defense still at this point. He hasn't really lost a ton, and he's holding.
I'd say he's losing the game to Eco. I mean, he's in a defensive position, no chance of doing damage. FreakinAndy is a little bit light on farms to keep up constant production from 3 TCs, so maybe it won't get any worse. But 3 to 2 TCs with a 10 Vil advantage, I don't know, at this level, that feels like enough to possibly win the game.
That could very well be a nice ground attack there from FreakinAndy. Knights will dive in here, won't really find much reward, but the mangonel numbers are still in favor for Andy. Forward production here has been quite helpful as well, and obviously that is going to make quite a difference.
Yep, Esjb, his crossbow numbers are good, though. With this large an army of the unit type you'd like to go for, he's in good fighting shape, man. But ultimately, what you're trying to do with this kind of attack is, you know, being done. He's keeping Esjb at home. He's killing Vils. He's stopping Esjb from being competitive with the boom. And this is just so dangerous. These crossbows, you just can't out micro 3 mangonels. He's going for it because he has no other choice, and he loses them all, you know?
Yeah, and the GG comes in here. FreakinAndy will take game number 1, and yeah, ultimately overwhelming there at the end. And it's a shame he did have enough stone for castle, just was unable to get one placed here. Thought that might help him a little bit, but very, very clean play here. Started very interestingly with the attempted lame, which honestly may have hurt Esjb a little bit more than it actually helped him, which is a little bit of a shame, but nonetheless, let's take a quick look at the statistics here, guys, if you guys are interested in those.
Yeah. Given the relative skill difference, Esjb must have expected this, especially after losing his initial scout. Home maps, I hope, will be kinder.
Indeed, indeed. Let's go to those home maps right now, guys. Here we go. We will have home maps for Esjb next. I haven't looked ahead at the maps to see what we're looking at here, but we do have Banana Grounds, Lanes, and Banbara. So we'll dive in here in just a second. That was Britain victory over Vikings here. GG's. Game number 2 coming up here in just a second, guys. Like it will be on Banbara, as we'll dive into this one here, guys. And I am loaded in. Game number 2. Out of this best of 7, FreakinAndy. We'll have Spanish. Opponent will have Japanese. Interesting choice for Spanish here.
Indeed. I guess conks are probably on the menu for the mid game, and besides that, Spanish are pretty ultimately versatile. The faster building villagers plus pretty much, I think it might be the most full tech tree in the game. You kind of can't go wrong with Spanish. The Japanese are my top personal choice for this map. Like the fishing situation is just so kind for them. And yeah, this being Esjb's first choice of home map, I feel like he's definitely going to have the advantage in preparation here. As FreakinAndy, man, he's definitely learned that this monkey does work on palisades and houses.
Yes, yes, indeed. We'll see what he goes for here. Honestly, it's been an interesting map. We haven't really, I feel like, seen like the same gameplay at all here recently. I think it's been a little bit of players trying some different things, which has been really nice. So we'll see what they have in store for us here today.
Yep, as FreakinAndy, of course he's watching this. I guess these players at this APM, when you only have one military unit and so little eco, he's able to, if not constantly watch his monkey, look over to it at least once a second. No chance he'll get taken by surprise while he's hitting up that palisade.
Yeah, and this has actually turned bad for Esjb. I think his best bet at this point is just to turn and take the fight here, honestly. Take this much
Disagree.
HP off. I don't think he's going to
Disagree.
get away with it. They have this such a hard time getting away. I feel
He's gonna. You go into your own walls here. The last thing you want is to lose your monkey and not take theirs out with you. I guess it's kind of risky to have the monkey inside, but it gives Esjb a chance.
He's just gonna stand in the gate. Yeah, and he's gonna stand there. He's going to attack it, and he will force an answer here, it feels like. And the idle time for villagers just walking up here to build this extra piece of palisade and maybe the house was a bit much, probably what FreakinAndy was looking for here. He might lose his monkey. It is all possible, but I don't think he's going to be all that upset about it either.
I don't know, dude. Now Esjb can turn around and chew up Andy's wall. Having a monkey alive on 1 HP here basically deletes the opponent's walls. This is a huge win for Esjb. FreakinAndy, I guess he's confident. He must have known this was a likely outcome when he ran inside the base.
Fishing ship's going to be even in number, but we will have a lot longer distance to the mid here for Esjb, who will be enjoying that Japanese fish. But all in all, after everything's said and done, idle TC time not all that far apart. And it just is going to be interesting to see if we have some faster up times before long, or if these guys are going to try to go into a Castle Age approach.
Yep, as FreakinAndy with a beautiful mining camp, good for gold and stone. Surprised both players are going for the long range dock. It's so much more efficient if you're able to run out to mid.
It is, but there's been a lot of aggression this game with monkeys potentially being worried about losing it. And Esjb's just going to walk on in here.
Yep.
Andy's not going to worry about it. Obviously, it's a 1 HP monkey. He should not lose anything to that. That said, no one is clicking up here at the moment. Andy, I think, can in a second. And there comes Loom, actually, for Esjb. So he may be clicking up here behind this shortly as well. But I don't think he has the food just yet, actually.
Those vills on the board might be holding a ton. Plus, those Japanese ships are bringing some sushi home for the vills, I'm sure.
It's going to be interesting. Obviously, uptime's very important here. And it depends on what everyone's going for. Looks like FreakinAndy will click up first. He's going to be the faster to the next stage. And looks like Esjb is going to be significantly behind again, it feels.
Gotta be FC. Yeah, Esjb's gonna FC this. I guess FC into like crossbow, siege, monk works very well here. And I'm happy to see Esjb not mirroring Andy. Yeah, Andy might win water, but if Esjb takes map control with crossbows, water is pretty properly useless.
lot on stone here for FreakinAndy. So he is thinking conquistadors. At least that's what it would seem to me. I don't think it's going to be shifting 5 onto stone for any sort of tower shenanigans on this map. Even if you can tower it, you know, your opponent can just move to the other side if need be. Esjb coming out here with a mill. So he's going to try to take some of the extra food on the side since he's probably thinking he's going to lose what is in mid here.
Yep.
He will be a tower. FreakinAndy's going to put it up in the mid.
Interesting. I mean, it makes sense. He's taking the stone. He's a long way away from actually building the castle. This tower really does help to guarantee his hold on mid continues.
Yeah,
a single fire.
Yeah, it's very strange. Sorry, there's militia on the field here for Esjb.
I dig it. I mean, FreakinAndy did close the hole in his wall, but it is still just palisade. Yep, the tower's close enough to the shore that I think even a fire ship could possibly defend it from the militia. As Esjb is going to test that. Yeah, sees the fire ship, thinks better of it.
Yep. Man-at-Arm upgrade will come in shortly here. This gate is going to go down quickly, but walling behind is an option.
Yeah, and losing all the fish for Esjb is rough. That's a lot, man. 5 fish. The Japanese fish bonuses don't matter if it's just fully uncontested. FreakinAndy's going to take a tremendous eco lead here, and I said it looked like Esjb was going to FC. He's definitely not. He's just flatly surrendering water without any sort of like vicious counterattack. I think Esjb's in trouble.
Yeah, I feel like the militia and Man-at-Arms play was very strange. It's not that I don't appreciate the try for a different strategy here by any means, but it's just, this is what happens. You can wall behind. He can repair behind this with 2 vills, and he is going to slowly lose it, but before that happens, he can always just drop back and build another one. There we go.
Yeah, I mean, the real thing, though, is this water, man. FreakinAndy, with, like, just 2 naval units, has taken a pretty tremendous economic advantage, and he's going to be able to continue to grow that if he chooses to add more fishing ships.
Yep, fires are out here as well. Gonna try to clean this up. This tower will go up here that is forward, though, and there were some very nice quick walls for FreakinAndy that came in, but this house could just be deleted. He wants to batter that one down.
Yeah, as these towers are just covering the entire waterway. This is a weird map. I mean, I think it's probably correct to think of it as a proper hybrid map. The water is so small, but it, I mean, covers an incredibly important area of the map. And yeah, I think that the role of water here, I mean, it's not quite as much as in a map like Baltic or something where there's a giant lake and you have to run around. But I almost always heavily favor the player who takes water early. It gives you such a military and economic advantage.
Yep, this tower will be denied for now. It will be deleted, actually. But these villas are still inside, and they plan on trying to continue to do damage here. But behind this, like you said, that food, if you look at the res on the top of the screen, there are a massive food difference here.
Yeah, I mean, almost 10 villagers at this phase of the game. FreakinAndy's about to click. He's got 10 on stone. Conquistadors are gonna shred. He also just has the center of the map controlled. I don't really see a world in which Esjb is able to come back here.
Yeah, and Castle Age is going to be a full Castle Age, so at least 2.5 minutes. Probably looking at more like 3. And honestly, the farm numbers aren't that impressive. The food villagers are 19 for Esjb, but honestly, I don't know. Is it all farms? There's only 10 farms. Oh, there's berries. Yes. Okay.
Yep, he's got berries in his base and such as well. But FreakinAndy has total map control. He could, like, He'll probably castle at home just to be safe. Esjb might be facing an unsolvable problem here.
Yeah, and the fishing ship numbers are up to 9, so they will bump around on each other a little bit, but we're talking about 30k food in the center for those who don't know, and it's already down to 28.6k. I don't think we've actually seen it matter, obviously, come late game if both players make it there, and it's been a pretty even trade-off on water, but this is going to be a clear water hold for Andy as he cleans up the docks. Like you said, he has towers all across the water line, and these villas are coming forward. He is not going to play this passively.
Yep. I didn't want to suggest it, but yeah, he's got these towers to control it. He can TC, I mean, literally covering the enemy TC if he wants to at this point, and it looks like he's going for it. Yeah, it's gonna range the TC, range some of the golden stone. Esjb, I mean, under the tower and with the ships around, this just can't possibly be denied.
Yeah, and Spanish builders, this thing will be up very quickly. Bot Canero coming in probably just for that additional range on the towers and for the castle. Now we're up to 11 fishing ships, which is definitely not going to be all that efficient for all of them, but Esjb on his way to the castle age, and will still call it here. He knows that this one is too far gone at this point.
Yep, a timely GG. And I mean, I don't know. I'm blown away with the skill of these guys. FreakinAndy just playing everything so perfectly, kind of bending the meta a bit. I guess Esjb went for something a little different there. The elo difference just can't be overstated. It's so hard. It's so hard to play against a player who's just ranked significantly higher.
Yeah, indeed. I mean, FreakinAndy is, top 50 in the world, I believe, still. And then Esjb is up there. Don't get us wrong. He is a magnificent player, but there's still that crazy difference in between. Game 3, guys, will be on another home map here for Esjb. He will have Banana Grounds and Monkey Lanes still available for himself. I didn't look ahead. I don't know what we're going to go to here next, but we're going to dive into that game here, guys, in just a second. Okay, let's take a quick moment, though, while I load this in to thank you guys for showing up. Thanks for coming over, hanging out. Do appreciate it, guys. It's been a long road to these semifinals. Lots of players have been involved, and it's been just a blast to watch, guys.
For sure. And we're going to hype the hell out of the finals and try and make it a well-advertised production. Let it be known to the community, if anybody out there wants to watch or cast those games themselves, that we're going to have a proper tournament final going down for this thing.
Yep, still awaiting to find out when we can do that, though. Obviously, we don't know the outcome for the semifinals. We still have another one to cast on Sunday, so we'll see who's playing and when they can play, and then we'll update you guys. Throw a lot of information at you across multiple sources. Try to get as many people here for the finals as we can. It's like you said, it's a substantial gain monetarily to make it into the finals and, of course, to win.
Yeah, and I mean, I don't know FreakinAndy's career track, but I think for Esjb, no matter what happens here, a top 4 finish and a payout in a C-tier pro tournament is a tremendous accomplishment, man. Between all the brackets here, we've had like over 100 participants. To finish in the top 4 among them is a big deal, man.
Yeah, absolutely. And no matter who goes out here at this level, it's been a pleasure to watch and cast all of these games, because it has been every game we've taken care of and casted. Maybe not Jabari with everyone, but pretty much, probably 90% of them, I'd say.
I caught every game in the first 2 brackets.
Yeah. And I did just check. So we had overall 120 different individual people sign up. Now, not absolutely everyone was able to make their games. There were a few admin wins, so yeah, like you said, about 100 people probably played in this.
Yeah. Esjb saying he was looking for a banana. Maybe his monkey got
went
caught out
down.
somewhere or something. Yeah.
Went down to the town center.
Unfortunate.
Yeah, and
I guess
Esjb was the only player in this bracket to actually try to lame, so I know by his quarterfinals he was coming for this one boar. That's what he was going for.
Yep. How strange, man. Everybody was calling that the monkey was imbalanced. It was too potent of a lamer. But in the end, nobody's using it that way.
I mean, there's been a lot of feedback on the monkey, but I look at it like this. It's aggressive, and it makes a lot of things possible. And now that people are figuring them out, we're seeing people use them in many different ways, and laming only by, well, Esjb in the entire... What? There's 52 participants in this bracket, and he's the only one like, I've seen lame.
Yeah, in the mid, I mean, in the lower brackets, we saw it a bit.
True. We'll see what happens, though. Andy howls, desperately getting the house up here and grabbing Loom while in that process here. So, minimal TC idle time for him. He is playing as the Ethiopians here, and will be against Esjb's Bulgarians.
Interesting. Curious to see. I highly doubt we're going to see that ranged unit mirror here. In all likelihood, it will come down to crossbow versus, I guess, knights. And yeah, it will be nice to see non-mirrored strategies here for sure. Though FreakinAndy going with the scouts as Britons in game 1, I'm not going to venture to too confidently predict what he'll do.
Well, he's dropping 3 farms nice and early. So it could be some sort of a different approach here that we haven't seen before.
Given how little food there is on this map overall, yeah, building 3 farms just seems kind of like it's good hygiene, man. I don't know if you can read into his build based on that.
I have no idea what this build is. The Ethiopians especially, it's a very different one. He is going to end up clicking up here relatively quick, though. It's going to be a very nice uptime here for this map that you only have 1 boar on.
Yeah.
And obviously, if you guys aren't familiar with the map, there's hunt in the center and berries, but there are a lot of herdables at the beginning, and Esjb, again, going for that lame early, was not able to, you know, collect too many, as he'll click up here shortly. There it is. Will be about 45 seconds behind or so.
Yep, FreakinAndy must be going to archers. Makes sense as Ethiopians. Esjb with the 1 militia already. I guess men-at-arms into scouts makes some sense. As we see tons of banter between these guys, I have it on good information as well that both these guys are exceptionally good sports and nice fellas. So no matter how brutal the gameplay is here, I'm sure they're both having a good time.
Oh yeah, I mean, if you didn't catch the one comment here when FreakinAndy found the TC, he said "banan" and then put an A at the end because he forgot it, and they were having some fun. Daggone, you know. I mean, it's always fun with this. Going to see late barracks, and actually FreakinAndy does not have the wood for an archery range at the moment. He's going to have it very shortly, but this will allow the man-at-arms that will soon be here to do work, as there comes that archery range.
Yep, as FreakinAndy, he's got a good food count, but the food has run dry with just 4 on it. Seems like a little bit of a misbuild from Andy here, as pro players don't tend to float 600 unused res at the start of Feudal Age. Maybe he's giving Esjb a window here, as those quick walls were too close.
I think this is a fast castle attempt, actually, it feels like.
I
But he will
refuse to
produce some
believe that.
archers.
Yeah.
Well, the 3
No.
farms and everything, he had like 600 food, and he had like 150 gold at the time, and then he produced a few archers. So, gonna
Yeah.
get these quick walls up again here. So these men-at-arms won't be able to do any more damage than they've already done until they try to bust through some buildings.
Yeah, I think they might be technically getting downhill hits on that house.
It is melting rather quickly, and I believe the backside of it is on the hill. Archer number 1 over here, though, so these man-at-arms won't have a whole lot of time here. Stable behind this for Esjb, as we predicted. Well, you predicted, but nonetheless, it is a stable. There are scouts coming.
As Bulgarians, you don't need to exactly be a, you know, you don't need to be. Anyone can call that.
You mean you don't think they're gonna go into a full skirm defense?
I mean, I've done it before as Bulgarians, but it's only because I misread my civ and thought I was Bohemian. So,
Yeah, fair enough, fair enough. And these men-at-arms going to get chased away here. Not going to do any more damage. More archers. More archers, more archers.
Yeah, Ethiopian archers, man. I feel like well-microed archers are like literally unkillable in feudal age. Ethiopians even more so, as very good pick off by Esjb to at least get one here, plus weaken the other. But this is kind of a nightmare army once FreakinAndy gets up to even 6 archers, dude. I mean, I think it's pretty well known these days that there's like the archer micro trick where you can do the attack move and the archers like run really quickly. Like with a decent mass, I feel like there's literally nothing in feudal age that can beat well microed archers.
Yeah, and we'll see if that is the case. We do see the scouts going right past here. We'll find another pickoff, maybe even, maybe not. Actually, it looks like he's going to get away. He did not focus the one. And now the 4 archers are going to be forward, and there are all of the wood here, and all of the farm gets sniped here. A very nice pickoff for Esjb.
Pro snipe, Esjb, this one scout sacrificing itself basically, gets away with most of its HP. FreakinAndy, oh boy, waltzing into the wood line, getting multiple Vil kills. Oh boy.
And there are not enough scouts here to clean this up. And all of these Vils, if you guys don't know, this is downhill. And yeah, the GG comes in. That was a beautiful position for Andy to be able to take here. And I believe on the other side of that, we did see the scouts go down here as well. So the Eco KD here was 2-0 for FreakinAndy by the time it was all said and done. With the obvious numbers could have gone down here as well.
Yep. Let's see lanes.
Yeah. We will be headed there in just a second, guys. Ran through the statistics real quick for those who wished to see them. Let's load back in here. Get the maps back up for you guys. Lanes is the last home map for Esjb. So we will dive into that one here and see what he has in store for us here. With a must-win situation for himself. Mayans for FreakinAndy against Celts. I actually really think that Celts could be really great on this map. Limited mobility. Walls are prevalent and pushing. As you can see, there will be a gold and a stone and forward berries here. So it could be something to pay attention to here.
Celts have a lot going for them, but Mayans just seem like the absolutely stronger civ, independent of map. This is also a map where the Mayan walling bonus helps. With the Banano map balance, Mayans have an extra good economy with the extra 1 Vil. But yeah, I see what you're saying. Celts, they can chop the wood faster. I mean, pretty much the exact same things that would apply in Arabia apply here. Actually,
Yeah.
I don't really know if Celts are that much better suited here than they would be on Arabia. As Esjb goes for it again, man.
Yeah, has to be really careful though. Lost a lot of HP here, took too many hits, and he's down to 4 HP. And oh, there's a block coming. Not quite gonna be in time. Nice attempts here though. So a yes in chat for Esjb, as he is very happy to have finally gotten away with a lane. Let's see if he can get it back though. He only has 4 HP. He does not.
The elephant outran it. Yeah. People don't know everything about this monkey's attributes. Apparently, it does not outrun elephants.
Yep. There's a ping on the map here. Esjb going ahead for trying for the lane here, not able to get it. And now FreakinAndy will come forward here with his own.
Yep, FreakinAndy just... I don't know if it's deliberate suiciding of the monkey here. FreakinAndy's definitely feeling supremely comfortable in this set at this point, I would say.
Yeah, and now there's a... The monkey is chasing down a Vil with no loom on it. It will not make it back here, as Andy's going to take that out, take a nice Vil advantage here for himself. Esjb going for the aggressive plays here, and if he would have gotten the lanes, we might have a different story here. The banana chat continues here.
Yep, as FreakinAndy tosses the scout. I guess a playful gesture, trying to keep it fun.
Esjb's like, I hope that was on purpose.
Yeah, it's like potentially a little disrespectful, honestly, to throw advantage like that at FreakinAndy's level. That doesn't happen by accident.
Indeed. But nonetheless, we'll continue on here and see how things progress. Gonna grab the last of the ghosts of this Vil here. Again, Esjb will send it out here in that direction, hoping to grab those. And then also on to the hunt here, as again, Esjb, I do not believe, has scouted his second elephant. And he has not.
Yeah, I mean, I understand why SJB's gone for these lames, but it just sucks that they haven't come through for him. FreakinAndy tossing his own monkey to keep it fair. But yeah, I mean, failing to scout his own base, it's not just the loss of monkey. He's like way behind where he would be if he had just scouted his own map.
Yeah, and it's a huge risk, and obviously high reward, huge risk, always tempting, and just didn't quite work out for him so far in the bracket or in the tournament altogether. I think he successfully lamed one boar that I've seen so far, so not the greatest record with that, but you know, respect it. We did allow it, and it has not been overwhelmingly used, which is always good to see.
Yep. One other thing that we carved into the rules is no restrictions on the Nomad map. We haven't seen anything super crazy there, but if either of the players who will eventually make it to the finals are listening right now, do know that anything goes on Nomad.
Yep, indeed. And that is no longer the case in the ladder and in most tournaments. With, you know, they have their reasons. Same as some reasons don't allow laming. But if it can happen, we allow it. Pretty much what happens here at this point with the Nomad start. But like
Yep,
said,
I personally like the chaos. I mean, Berbers is a good pick. They can pick and choose their Vil fights. Persians have the potential to douche the opponent's starting TC, which would just be a straight up GG.
Yeah, it would be very, very interesting to see. Feudal Age coming in for both here. We'll have the Militia coming forward with a range behind it for our Mayan player. Nothing surprising there. That's what we've seen constantly with Mayans in the upper bracket here.
Yep, and he's coming in to the right area of the base here. He's going to cruise right past these Huntvilles, possibly into the wood line. I don't know if he has information on this. Maybe his scouting shows the carcass. Well, it's hard to tell now.
I was too slow. I'm sorry.
Yep.
You caught me off guard with that comment. I was like, oh my. Was not prepared, guys. Was not prepared. My bad. My bad. Nonetheless, the Man-at-Arms are here. They are going to do the most damage they can. And just now shifting on to gold.
Yep. So we will be seeing mirrored archers here. I guess that favors the Mayans, but the Celts with their faster chopping wood have their own sort of cheaper archers.
Yeah, only if that wood line survives. They're both very exposed. The Man-at-Arms is going to be here. The archer range isn't up yet. And the economy lead is still 3 vills here. FreakinAndy also has his double bit axe upgrade. Not an upgrade here for Esjb. And these Berryvilles are under a lot of danger.
Yep. As FreakinAndy is just doing the rounds here, harassing like basically every single resource collection point. Always pulling back the men-at-arms at the last second. The archers should finally put an end to this. But these 3 men-at-arms, I mean... Yeah. I don't blame Esjb. He was beaten. Congrats, dude. I will message him about collecting his prize, and I haven't collected it yet, or created it yet, but there will be a Liquipedia page for this. So your 4th place finish in this tournament will be immortalized. Yes, sir. Thank you very much.
Indeed, indeed. A very quick one, and with the ELO difference, maybe not a surprise. But again, Esjb came a long way here and made it all this way. Congratulations to FreakinAndy as well. He will be moving on here to the finals, where he will await the winner of the next semifinal that we are going to show here in just a second, guys. We'll get that information up for you. But if anyone wishes to avoid spoilers, now is your one and only warning to look away. And here we have it, guys. Esjb going down to FreakinAndy 4-0. 14th seed, making it to the semifinals. Would be very, very pleased with that if I was Esjb. FreakinAndy will await the winner here of Kingston and El Matador, as this thing does not wish to update. We'll get it updated. It's okay. But nonetheless, lots of fun. We're going to say goodbye here to Esjb in the only way we know how. In just a second, guys. Jabari, anything you'd like to say?
No, thanks so much for playing Esjb. Val accounts, you were a great sport. And yeah, we're thrilled with the level of play in this tournament. Honestly, we're blown away that we even have guys at Esjb's level who signed up. Having these other top pros here in the semifinals is just a dream come true for us tournament organizers.
Indeed, indeed. And we say farewell to Esjb. GG's, guys. Farewell it shall be to Esjb, but again, he came a very long way to get here. And congratulations. FreakinAndy. Moving on to the finals, where he awaits, again, the winner of Kingston and El Matador. That set will be cast at 8 p.m. EST Sunday evening. For those who are interested, spread the word. Let us know, guys. It should be a lot of fun seeing how things move forward, and that set is going to be insane. And then we'll have either the number 1 and number 2 seed up against each other, or the number 4 and the number 2 seed up against each other, which is always spectacular.
Yep, this is what we've been building to, man. I'll try and get the advertisements and everything out there so that people who are interested in these later games can see them. But yep, open casting, open viewing. Yep.
Indeed. But yeah, guys, that's going to do it for us tonight. We're going to end the stream here. A lot to come here before too long, and looking forward to seeing you guys there for that. Jabari, anything in closing, sir?
Nope. Thanks, everybody who's watching this live or recorded. Hope to see you again in the last 2 sets of this one.
Yep. GG's. Good luck, have fun, everybody. And we'll catch you here Sunday night for El Matador versus Kingston. See ya.
Yep.